Alright guys, so I'm out here kayaking. The river wasn't producing anything, so I figured I'll drop down in here a little bit. This is the same creek I was in the other day. Now, I've never fished in a kayak yet. This is actually the second time I've ever been in one, so we'll see how it goes. Not yet. Caught the first one. Yeah, that fish was just biting it again. He keeps biting it, but he's not, like, biting it good. Bluegill. Not 5 seconds after I caught that largemouth, or that little smallmouth, I think it was. And I think it hit it, but not good enough to set the hook or anything. We're back at the creek. Got my mystery tackle box bait. Got my ugly stick, Shakespeare ugly stick right there. I'm going to try to get some more cool fishing videos. I'm going to try to do a little bit better filming this time than we did last time. I didn't do very good at keeping the fish in frame, but it's the first time I've ever done that as far as keeping the camera on my head and trying to film like that. So you'll have that. I learned, and this time I'm going to try to do a little bit better and still get some great shots. This time I'm going to try to do a little bit of underwater footage too. We'll see how that goes. It'll be the first time I try that, so we'll see how it goes. This is a different part of the creek yet again, so I don't know what kind of fish we'll catch. Well, I know what kind of fish we'll catch as far as species go, but I don't know if I'll catch any, so we'll see what we do. Check these rocks out. Looks like a cobblestone path. Maybe it was at one time. It's hard to say, but it looks cool. So we came to this little pool right here. You can see, try to get some footage of that here in a little bit after we fish it, but there's little pockets back in there that I bet those fish love. I see a little bass swimming around, so we'll see what we can catch.
I'll show this one, make sure you get something still.
Oh man, did you see that bass swimming towards it?
Mm-hmm.
Caught me one. I think we've done caught this fish once. Up close, personal shot with the fish. Let me get him on hook. Alrighty, here he is. Nice old creek chub. Let's get him back in the water. Alright guys, just pulled in another one. Another up close and personal shot of the little creek chub. I'm gonna let him go. Advice. I'm not by any means an expert, so do your own research. Don't listen to me. That's pretty much this entire channel. I'm not an expert on anything, so just out here trying to make some videos. But do your research on jewelweed, it's pretty cool. So, alright guys, I abandoned this, didn't catch that bass, but I know he's in there somewhere. So, I'll probably return to this one someday, catch him, possibly. Here's this stuff. Looks pretty cool. I like looking at this stuff even if I don't catch fish. It just looks cool. There's a crawdad pincher down here. See it? Probably plenty of crawdads. Have to do a crawdad catch, clean, and cook one of these days, maybe. Leave me a like and comment if you guys would like to see that. Have to make that happen one day. Be a cool little rock shelter if you was ever to do like a overnighter in the woods. If you wasn't afraid of a snake living under there with you or something. Maybe getting some poison ivy. But definitely looks cool. It'd work in a pinch. If you was caught out in the weather and didn't have nowhere else to go. Caught me another creek chub. Different bait this time. Gonna let him go. Alright. Once again, another creek chub. Same bait. Hoping to catch something other than creek chub, but we'll find out. Alrighty, wasn't catching nothing really in that first pool. I'm gonna come down here. I've not caught anything in this pool yet this year. It's actually a little bit harder to see, and the way I fish this creek, you kind of got to watch them. But oh, that one bit it. But these are a bunch of small fish. Let me try and get under the tree a little bit more. Yep, one's grabbed it, but it was too small for the hook to get in its mouth. That's how small it was. I want to sneak over. Oh, I had another bite just letting it sit in the water. Alrighty, I don't know if you can see or not, but there's a ledge right over there. It actually kind of runs all the way around there. I'm not positive, but I'm going to say there's possibly, a decent sized fish living under one of them. I'll just let it drop close. Yep, I've got a fish on him. Ooh, I jerked it right out of his mouth. Oh man, that's a real pretty bluegill right there. I don't know if I catch him again or not. Well, I say catch him. He bit it. Oh yeah. It's not the bluegill, but still a fish. Pretty good sized little fish, really. He's not huge, but look at all those dots in him. Crazy. I don't think I've ever done this good with soft plastics in this creek. Usually they like live worms. Every time I get it back in there is when that bluegill bites it, but he's just not committing to it. But this pool right here is pretty dark, so if this thing does glow, that'd be good for it. I know I've seen some big fish over there though.
Yeah, I seen that bluegill bite here. Thing.
Yes.
I really didn't think there was any bluegill down here.
Coming up on another good pool. You can see something just hit the water right there. I've never really caught any like bluegill or bass out of this pool right here, but you can usually catch plenty of little minnows and stuff. See, I've already got one biting on it. It was just too small for the hook. Oh man, that one came up and snatched him. I'm gonna try and get back a little bit further, let it drift down, because that's what these fish are probably used to doing, is something will hit the water and you know they're used to just grabbing it as it drifts down. Now this one, here we go. Again, not a super big fish, but he pooped all over me, so. But yeah, he straight swallowed that thing. Ah, calm down. But yeah, if I was to be catfishing or something, it'd be the perfect fish for a big catfish to want to bite. But in this pool, I feel like in particular, once it hits the ground, they're done with it. So while it's floating by, they're good, but they don't want nothing that's on the dirt. Now I don't know if how many different colors these baits come in, but if that was black, like a tadpole, I feel like that would that'd be perfect for small fish. Alright, let's see what it'll do. If nothing else, we can at least watch the action of it. Yeah, that looks good. It actually does look pretty good. And it kind of sits. I mean, it's got like a slow sink, but watch it. Slow sink. But if he was to just, I mean, that's got a really nice action. I just don't think right here isn't the spot to do it justice. I mean, there's still fish swimming around it like crazy, but probably more just kind of checking it out than wanting to eat it. Most of them's kind of small. Yeah, that's got a really nice action. I wish that I had a better spot to fish it. Because really, I just don't think that there's a spot big enough right here. I'm gonna walk over here and drop it in this deep hole right here. I don't really know. I don't know if anything will bite it or not. My biggest fear, I would really like to get it close to, you can see that thing in the water though. It does move nice. I just, like I said, if I was out in a pond or something and could cast this a little bit better, or actually a lot better. I know there's big fish. Oh man, there was a big fish just hit it actually. Well, I say big. Big for this. Swam up next to it. I'm gonna say it was a bass. Just a small bass. Oh yeah, there's definitely a little fish hitting it. What's crazy is that fish that just hit it didn't look much bigger than the bait. And I'm not sure if it was that was a bass or not. I'm just kind of letting it slow sink so they get the get a eyeball at it, because they're kind of low in there. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do as far as casting goes. Something was just swimming around it. Like I said, I don't know how well you guys can see underwater on this camera, but this bait has a really nice action. I like it actually a whole lot. If I was in a pond, Yeah, did you guys just see that? Watch. I mean, if you was just to reel that thing in. Yeah. There is a little bass after it. Oh, right into the tree. Really, if that limb wasn't there, I'd be able to get this out pretty far, I think. Alright, so it's a different day. I've got the rest of this tackle box. I'm going to try these Micro Finesse pink baits. We got to see in the last video, or the last bait I used, that those glow-in-the-dark ones done pretty good, but let's test these out. So these ain't glow-in-the-dark, but I've got plenty of bluegill, and these kind of smell, they got a smell to them. It's not like a bad smell, it's just not a good smell. I don't know, but I'm gonna put this on and we're gonna see how it goes. Like I was saying with those last ones, if they was black, I think these would do really good. I don't know how often people fish with tadpoles, or if that's even a thing, but if you think about it, they're in the creek, they're gonna have to do good, because I mean, everything's gonna eat them. Toss it in this dark. Had a little fish bite on it. I think it was just a little chub. I don't know if you can see this as it falls, but it actually has a little bit of like a wiggle. Let me get over here. You can't really see, but I think the current will kind of take it. You can see it in the water, kind of. Oh man, I think that was a little smallmouth. So this spot in the creek is a little bit better than the spot I was fishing at the other day. I just had something else bite it. Nothing's really biting it hard enough to set the hook yet though. I should have brought the other GoPro lens so that way we could see what this looks like underwater. I never thought about that. Oh, almost had him. I think that was a chub though. Man, I'm getting bites, but nothing crazy. I mean, every time I put it in the water, they're biting it, but you can see them occasionally in that little bit of light. Oh, sick, that's a monster spider. Alright, so I didn't catch this on camera, I don't believe, but I caught a fish. Good looking fish. I'm gonna let him go. There he goes. But yeah, like I said, I didn't think that I caught that on camera, but I had casted, because that was the best cast I was able to get for the first time. And then he ended up biting it. So I just had like 3 bluegill trying to bite this thing at once. Worst thing is, none of them's big enough. I'm gonna go back to this white one. Yeah, go back to this guy. Glows in the dark. And should catch me some fish. They're going right after that sinker, and they was just biting the legs off of that other one. So we'll see what this will do, since it's a smaller bait. The worst thing about this white one is in this water right here, I can't hardly see it. Maybe should have went with the pink one. I don't know. See what this does. Yeah, caught me a little sunfish. Let me get this guy out of the water so we can look at him, because he's got some nice color to him. Yeah, look at those colors. Put him back in the water. That was a good looking fish. Fishing Creek. Got my ultralight set up. Got this ugly stick dock runner. I just bought it at Walmart. Well, I didn't just buy it at Walmart, but I did buy it at Walmart. I got these little minnow type things off of out of a mystery tackle box. If you guys watched that video, you guys seen those. If you haven't watched that video and would like to, I'll leave a link up here if I don't forget, so that way you guys can check it out. But I want to do a little bit of fishing here with my ultralight setup. Hopefully you guys can see that in the water. There's quite a few little bass swimming around, and I know there's some bluegill in here, so we'll see if they want to bite on anything. These fish are kind of finicky, really. For some reason, they're awful shy. If you could see them, then you seen whenever I threw it into the water, they all just scattered. So, I don't know. I think they went to that other pool back in there. There's another pool of water back in there a little ways. But I've got some other baits I plan on trying. Was just recently fishing at the bigger creek, and I found some, or I didn't find some, I just found a white grub. Somebody had casted it and lost it in some weeds. I was kayaking and came across it, which was kind of cool. Usually I'm the one losing baits, not retrieving them, but you know, that's a pro of kayaking, I guess. That's not the first bait I found like that either. I found a couple baits like that, so I think it's neat. I thought this fish was just swimming around with it in its mouth. It actually, I didn't know I hooked it, but I hooked it. There was another fish, I don't know if you guys seen that on camera or not, but there was another fish trying to get it out of his mouth. But first fish of the day, not bad. There was a bigger fish going at it. That was the one trying to get it out of his mouth. We'll see if we can't catch him. Got me another one. Still not the big one, but you know, oh, he got off. It's kind of crazy how like much those chubs fight. Like they've got a lot of fight in them, really. I don't feel like it's quite as fun as like catching a bass, but if you ain't catching nothing, it's better than nothing. Alright, I'm going to walk on up this way. This water's nice and cool today, which it's not had the sun's shining on it for very long. Still pretty early. Alright, I'm going to stand over here and cast it over there by that tree. I know there's some pretty good sized fish in there. And I done caught one. Yeah, first cast in this pool and I caught a fish. Another little, well, he's not little, that's a pretty good sized chub right there. Look at that. Talking to us. So yeah, like I said, they're not quite as good as bass, but it's a pretty good sized fish right there. Let him go. He swam right up to my foot. What we're saying about those fish is, man, they are some of the slimiest fish in this creek. There's a nice little bass right there. I might try to cast in front of him. Oh yeah, he hit it, but he wasn't having it. As soon as I threw See, that's one thing I like about bluegill. Look at that. I mean, he hit that super hard, and then you'd have thought that it was one of those big fish, but it wasn't. But yeah, there, oh shoot, there he is. But yeah, I know that there's some good fish in that pool if I could just cast in the right spot. So the worst thing about this little tiny bait is it doesn't have a whole lot of weight to it. But yeah, that bluegill hit it like as soon as it hit the water almost. Ah, then I cast it into the tree. I don't know if you guys seen that or not, but that's a good little trick. If you're hooked or you're snagged, take your line and kind of like just kind of whiplash it, and most of the time it'll like shock back in through the line, and it'll get your hook unstuck. Most of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the times it works. Caught another one. I think it's another chub. Yep, it's another chub. Pretty good fishing today. I like these black spots in them. I don't know what they are, but this guy's just barely hooked. I mean, I don't know how he even stayed on, but there he is. Let's see, I don't think I've got anything in here that I want to throw, but we'll look real quick. That's pretty small. We'll think about that. I got this white grub, but I feel like that's too big. Let's see. This thing's pretty tiny, but I don't know if I could get a good action with this for where I'm at. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to use that. I think I'm going to try this little grub right here. This guy. So it's about the same size as the one I just took off, but it's a little bit different color. So we'll try it out. It's got a little bit different of a weight to it, it seems. So can't cast it the exact same way I just did the other one. Alright, and I don't want to get much closer because I feel like that's usually what scares them bass off, is I don't know if it's your shadow, but my shadow will be right in the water. But I don't know if it's a shadow or if it's just me walking, you know, like the vibrations of me walking or something like that. I might have to get a little bit closer. Keep snagging on them rocks. There it goes. You can also take it and like sling it back in there. I'm not too good at that method. I'm always kind of afraid I'm going to get hooked. Kind of like a rubber band. I always end up getting smacked with a rubber band if I flick it like that. So that's what I feel like will happen if I do that with the hook. I'll just get a hook in me. But you know, that's an option if you guys want to try that. Kind of use it as a slingshot. I've seen people do that. I mean, it's pretty cool, but like I said, not really for me, but it is an option. They're not even going after this bait. Let's see. I've got this little tube right here, kind of for, I don't know, pan fishing or something, trout tube, whatever they're called. I can't remember what they're called, but got this. It's got some little legs to it or something. Kind of looks like an octopus or something. Alright. So there it is on the hook. Don't look half bad. Let's throw it in and see what the fish think. I think I'm going to walk on up this way a hair. Looks like a turkey feather or something. Pretty cool. It seems like it's been forever since I've seen a turkey feather just laying out in a field or something, or the creek or wherever. I've got it. I had a fish, but I don't know if it's eating it. No, they're just dragging it around. There he goes. Oh, yeah. He got off. That was a big old creek chub again. But I know I see those two bass in there. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera. It's kind of hard to see in here because it's so shaded, but I'm going to try and cast right in front of him. Well, right beside of him. He's got it. He's on. Oh, I got it wrapped around this tree. He might have got off. Nope. Yeah. If he'll calm down for a minute. I did not think this fish was that big. Come on, buddy, calm down. Yeah, I did not think this guy was this big. Ow. He's spining me. Calm down. Alright. So there you go. He's about, I don't know, 5-6 inches long. But yeah, in the water he did not look nowhere near as big as he is. That's pretty good fish for the creek, you know. Probably the biggest one I've caught out of it this year. There's a turtle. See? Little box turtle. Well, I don't want to put my hook in him. Yep, little box turtle right there. It's super yellow. I didn't really know that they sat in the water like that, but this guy's sitting in the water, taking it easy. Before I came and bothered him, I'll leave him alone, but yeah, it's super yellow. Let's see, let's get a little bit closer. Super yellow little turtle. He is just taking it easy. Must have been a good year for turtles, because I don't think I've ever seen that many turtles. Alright, yeah. Now that's a rock bass right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. Spin him around. Yep, nice little rock bass. See if it can't. Alright. Calm down, buddy. Look at him. Big red eyes. Nice stripes. Super pointy dorsal fins, I think is what they're called. Those are good looking little fish. Alright guys, so I'm back down at the creek. Got this little tube that I was using in the last video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to catch some fish, and we're going to go turtle trapping. So I'm going to use some of these live fish for bait. As soon as I catch one, I'll get back with you. One little creek chub. Use him. Maybe. Alright. Fish number one. As long as you don't get away. Let's work on fish number two, and then we should be good. I don't know, I might get a couple more just to be sure, but we'll see what we do. Alright guys, I've been down here for like a half hour. The only thing that's getting bit is me by mosquitoes. So I want to call it a day here, try another spot, and then we'll go catch some turtles. Alright guys, while I was down here, I figured I'd go ahead and catch a little fish. So here's the first fish I caught. Just threw it in. Caught it with this thing. Gonna throw it back in. Alright guys, fish number two. Nice big bass. So this might end up being a fishing video instead of a turtle catching video. We'll see how the turtle catching goes, but that's second cast right there. Alright guys, I figured since I was catching so many fish, I'd go ahead and start recording. I didn't figure on catching this many fish that fast, but I'm doing pretty good. But I don't know if you guys can see, but there's all kinds of bubbles. So that's the turtles, as far as I know. And there's quite a few, so we're going to try and get rid of as many of them as we can. Alright, another fish on. Oh man, that's a pretty good sized bluegill. If I can keep from getting him snagged. Here we go. Fish number 3. Oh, and he got himself off. If I can grab him. Calm down, buddy. Alright, here you go. Fish number 3. Pretty good looking fish. He's bigger than that last bluegill I caught. Let him go. There you go, buddy. But yeah, right out there, right there, I think. Yeah, quite a few bubbles. So. It's the worst thing about using small baits is I can't really cast them without my line going nuts. I had another fish bite it, but must not have bit it good enough, and I jerked it out of its mouth. But this thing, they like when it watching it sink. It seems that's what's been getting them, is when it starts to sink. Oh man, another good sized bluegill. This one I think is bigger than the last one. He's gonna get tangled up. Okay. Alright guys, so here's another fish. Fish number 4. It's like they just keep getting bigger. It's a pretty good sized fish. It's really dark. It might be a hybrid or something. I'm not sure. If you guys know, leave it down in the comments. Turtle things are set. We'll come back and look here in a little while. See if we caught anything. Alright guys, got me another fish. Pretty good sized fish. He's not huge though. I mean, it ain't got a big belly, but it's long. Alright, caught another one. There it is. I've lost count. I don't remember how many I've got. 5 maybe. But I'm going to return him. Hey guys, caught another bluegill. He's a little dirty because he rolled all over the place on me, but good sized little bluegill. Looks a whole lot like the last one I caught, but I feel like this one's a little bit bigger. I'm going to let him go. We'll pick up on this turtle video tomorrow. Alright guys, next day. So it got robbed. And I didn't grab anything for, you know, to replace it with, so let's go check the other one. And it looks like there might be something on the end of it. Oh yeah, big old snapping turtle. Well, he ain't huge, but he's a good sized little snapping turtle. So you get him off the hook and kind of look at him. So here's the turtle. We're going to, we'll hopefully get some more bait and then throw these back in. Maybe see if we can't get something else. But yeah, he's not a bad turtle. So I'm going to call this video a success. So I'm going to find me a stick real quick. Nothing crazy. Let's see what's the stick. Not that one. Use this sycamore stick right here. All right. So I've got the sycamore stick. Delimit. I hate the smell of sycamore. Okay, so here's the stick. And here is my survival fishing kit. We've got a couple little hooks. Got a fly fishing hook right there, lure right over. I've got some super tiny sinkers down there. I've got this line full of, or well, a stick full of fishing line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test out my survival kit real quick. I'm going to put some line on this stick I've got right here and we'll test it out. Alright, so I don't know if you can really see the line right here. So where I've got this wrapped around this stick, it gets really, let me get you some new off. See how, rounded that is. So what I do, I just take my finger down it and kind of give it a little bit of a tug. Nothing crazy, you don't want to break it, but just go all the way down it, and then it gets a lot of that out, so you can use it. And then what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and cut it off. Hashtag use your knife. This is the Spyderco, I think it's a squeak something, but just cut it off right there. And then I've got this little notch where my string is held, so throw that back in there. I'm going to just tie, I'm not going to tie a crazy knot, I'm just going to tie it around it. I'm not planning on catching huge fish for this particular thing. If I was, in a survival situation, yes, I probably would want to tie a better knot on it. But since I'm not in a survival situation, it's not that big a deal to me. So there's a nice little knot. Alright, and then I've got these super small, well, if you can see it, I've got these super small little hooks. Here it is. And so what I always do, the way I tie them on, is I'll go through, see if I can't get on camera, I don't know or not. Alright, so I go through I pull me some out, then I go back through. Alright, so I've got this little loop. I take the loop, go around and inside it right there, just like if you was tying an overhand knot or whatever, and I take it through that loop and then I cinch it down. Probably not the best explanation on how I do it, but I guess, you know, if you guys want, maybe if you guys want a fishing knot tying video, let me know down in the comments. Let me just cut this tail off right here. I'm trying to get it super close. All right. So there's that. Throw this in my pocket. Alright, and now I've got one of these super small sinkers. I don't think these are tungsten or anything crazy. I think it's just regular old lead. So put that on there, because if you don't use a sinker, this little hook is not going to sink. So, and in this creek they usually like when it sinks. So got that, and I'm ready to fish. Now all I need, well, I guess I'm not technically completely ready to fish. Need to grab me some worms. You know, survival situation, probably always gonna have worms, so let me go grab some worms. Crawdad pincher I just found. It's blue. Bunch of ants crawling out of it. Alright, so I've got me some worms. Oops. If I can get it on the hook. Alright. Let's go see if I can catch something. Alright, I'm just going to drop this down right here. Usually you can see fish in here, but it's been raining. The water's kind of muddy. The ground's falling down into the dirt. Or the water. Did you hear it? I'm not seeing any fish at all. kind of deep right here. Oh, robbed my worm. First cast in this pond, or spot in the creek. There's little minnows everywhere. Yeah, here we go. So, not that I would particularly want to eat this fish right here, but I've got him for bait for a bigger fish. Oh, come here. So, first catch of the day, little chub. Let's throw him back in. Might catch him here in just a second. And as you can see, I didn't even have a worm on. My first cast in that spot, they had tore it off, so I'm actually going to try and throw it back in without a worm on and see if I can catch something else again. That was kind of crazy. Oh, yeah, these fish are biting just the hook. I don't know if it's that sinker that they see, but yeah, they're just biting the hook. Maybe it's because I'm such a good fisherman. I doubt it. Alright, it seems like they've kind of, like, I don't know, lost interest in the hook itself, maybe. I don't blame them. I can't believe I caught anything, anyways, without a worm on, but let me go grab another worm, and we'll see what else we can catch. Alright, so I'm rebaited. I want to try and get a little bit closer to this brush pile over here. There's usually some good sized fish living in it normally, but all I'm seeing is really tiny fish. Yeah, there's just real tiny fish in here. So with this, usually where these fish are living under a tree, I guess, is what I'm thinking. They're probably used to stuff falling out of the tree into the water. So usually they get it on the way down, and if they don't catch it on the way down, I feel like you're probably not going to catch it. So that's why I'm bringing it up an awful lot and then recasting it. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of them swimming around there. There he goes. Oh, I don't know if I can count that as a catch or not. Probably not. That was a pretty good sized one too. Alright, I want to move over this way. I don't feel like they like this moving water as much. Not in this creek, at least. I seen a fish swimming by. Yep. Oh, almost had him. He took my worm. I think there's actually some decent sized chubs in here. You can see them flashing around. Oh, almost had him. Did you see it?
Do you need another worm?
I'm gonna have to get one here in just a second. Yeah, if I don't catch nothing pretty soon. They're still going. They're just going after that hook, though. It's actually kind of crazy to me how deep this pool is right here. I think I've just seen a big old chub, really. There we go. Caught one. So I think I can call this a success. Because, like I said earlier, I can just use this. Could potentially just use this guy for bait on a bigger fish. So, if you guys like these kinds of videos, hit the subscribe button. Leave me a comment. Good comment, preferably. And I'll see you until the next one.